Hello, my friends. I'm going live today. This is a very, very special occasion because I'm actually going to be doing an Instagram live stream with my awesome friends at Moms Embracing Tech. If you are on Instagram, you need to follow these lovely ladies. They are pushing the envelope on what we expect of ourselves. So I wanted to share this broadcast live on my channels, but we go live in a moment on Instagram. And I have to be honest, I've never gone live on Instagram as a guest, so I have no idea how I'll be added. I'm just hoping for a notification. Yeah, I'm really excited to talk about tech today. Moms Embracing Tech is a brand that challenges us to understand, accept that it's never too late to do anything. And I'm definitely a techie kind of mom. So very excited to chat with this group and for this audience. Anybody out there wants to say hello, I'll take a look until we start the IG live stream. But yeah, we're talking about tech today. And I just want to show you, like, these girls killed the marketing on this thing. So that's one post. Another post, they just killed the marketing on this. Apparently this is this one's about me too, but that's not me. Check it out. Like they did so much to promote this, and I'm honored to be a part of the conversation. And hopefully we can inspire some moms today to talk about technology and how they're using it in their lives and how comfortable they are, and who knows what else might come up. But yeah, lively group, lively ladies. I'm really excited to chat with them. So we're looking at Rose and Andrea. And yeah, so I am going to essentially look at both cameras. That's my goal. That's my plan. And is it one? It's almost one. It's 12:59. We're going live. I hope you don't mind that I went live with you guys before I went live on Instagram. I just wanted to make sure that this was all set up. Friday night hangouts with Juliana are going to come back on in the fall. And I'm very excited about programming and all of that jazz. Trying to come up with some really cool topics and get you guys some cool guests. I'm really excited about some of the people that are willing to talk to me. Really excited to see how that plays out. And hopefully we'll get even more people tuning in than we have in the past. So it is still 12:59. I'm going to be patient. I don't really know how the IG live thing goes as a guest. In all fairness, I've never invited anyone to be a guest on my live either. And I've never been a guest on Instagram Live. But talk about embracing tech. Okay, so they're live. I'm going to join. They're live and ask and request to join. Here we go. Here, how do I do that? Request to join. Requested. Cool. And it looks like I'm gonna have to change my setup a little bit because I wasn't prepared for the portrait layout here, but it'll still work. Man, the number of books I piled up on my desk because I don't have a desktop, like a tripod that goes on my desk. Tech troubles live on Moms Embracing Tech. How come I'm not? Hello. We're about to start, everyone. We're about to start. Okay, here we go, guys. Oh shit. That didn't work. There we go. Okay, we're about ready to go.
I mean, this woman is so, she caught my attention actually on Instagram. First of all, because she's Canadian.
No, she caught our attention. No, it was on
Are you hearing this?
Rose. It was on LinkedIn.
LinkedIn.
That's where she caught our attention.
Yeah, and I thought, wow, what a profile.
These
What a
ladies.
stunner.
Coming from,
They're
Yeah.
okay, so here they are
What a
live on
stunner.
IG.
Yes. Yes.
yes, okay.
Sorry, ladies.
Yes, she is all of the above. So we really wanted to touch base with
Okay.
her, and we're so thankful that she said yes, because this month
Don't
of
need
July
that.
is our social media month,
Sure.
as everyone who's been tuning in has found out through the guests we've had so far.
hope you
But
guys
Julian
enjoy
is
this.
really going to come to it from a different perspective. And it's really more from a communication standpoint, because she's very much focused on communication psychology. And so we're going to just dive into that, and she'll explain all about it, and the Smart Self Solutions, which is her main company right now, and her main delivery of that whole psychology.
That has changed. Here we go.
We're getting started here.
There we are.
Yeah.
Ladies, you girls just rock my world.
Oh my God.
You really
So,
do. It's ridiculous.
Thank you. Thank you. You rock our world. You rock our world.
We're very excited.
Me
because,
too.
Again, you know, you're coming from a very unique standpoint, and that was the one thing that really captured my attention when I saw your profile and I read through. And I'm not even sure how I came across your profile.
Who
She
knows?
was on her feet.
Something, yeah, right away. And then I'm like, okay, I'm going to just send out a message. If she says yes, or if she even wants to talk or connect, great. If not, then okay, my loss. But you said yes, and you did connect. And then when we actually met in the icebreaker, you really blew our minds with a lot of the things that you were saying. And so let's begin there, and tell us how like a poli-sci major comes into this field of communications and social media and marketing, and how you're helping businesses, you know, bring all of that together.
Yeah,
To improve their business.
that's awesome. I'm going to answer that. I just want to give a shout out to there are like 35,000 connections in my social media world. I don't know how many
Wow.
will log in, but I do want to say to anybody who is watching now or watches later, please check out on IG if you're online or on your phone, Moms Embracing Tech. These ladies are doing awesome things. So please, please, please follow. And I haven't done this kind of setup before, so I hope it works out well.
Oh my God, it's going to be fantastic. Okay?
Okay,
And
awesome.
we have never been broadcasted to 30, what did you say, 35,000?
35,000 is my reach. But this is new to me too.
Me and Rose.
I haven't done both.
Today.
Yes, we all are.
Woo.
Look at us. Okay, so you talked about the fact that I have a political science education background. That's absolutely true. I did my master's in politics, constitutional politics. I'm really fascinated at the way people communicate and the way communication breaks down. And I noticed that a lot in politics. And I could have probably gotten the same fix out of studying history, but maybe the contemporary aspects was more interesting to me in politics. Ultimately, I did discover not long after graduating that working in government is not my passion. And I'm grateful that there are people to do it, because it is a very critical, important work, but the pace wasn't there for me. The interest remained though. And, you know, politics is a great example. I think job interviews are another great example of where communication, we have a very specific goal. You know, you want to get elected, you want to get the job, you want to pass the bill, whatever it might be. It's so easy to think, all right, I've got to just spread this message. And you go out there and you think you're saying it clearly, you know, and everybody else is hearing something different. And we ultimately live this game of broken telephone in our lives. And I think that crosses the you know, from politics to career to relationships, family, love relationships. So yeah, that's really been my passion, trying to understand that dynamic when there's communication breakdown and why, and how to fix it proactively before relationships break down. And yeah, that's been my why, but it's allowed me to do so many different things, right? Communication is, I think, the most transferable of all skills. And so, yeah, it's really allowed me, it's just opened doors for me. And it's, you know, one thing, I'm not sure if I said this before when we talked, but one thing that I would underscore today is we all have a genius zone, and people don't recognize their own genius zone, because to them it comes so naturally that they just think it's stupid. It's not important. It's not good. It's nothing. Anyone can do that. But the fact is, talking with people and listening to people happened to be mine. And you know what? Oprah has made a heck of a lot of money doing that.
Yeah, she has.
Right?
She's definitely one of the masters.
Yeah. So I think we all just kind of need to stop judging ourselves and go with the flow. Do what feels natural. Your genius zone is something somebody else is trying to master. And it has opened doors for me.
Absolutely.
And often our genius zone is something that's criticized about us from those around us, which make us not recognize it as our zone of genius. But, you know, you're very right, Juliana. I was told all I had were people skills.
Yes.
By my litigation brother, the litigator.
As if that's a problem, right? Like there are entire industries built around people skills. Not everyone has it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God. So I'm interested in the fact that you were, you know, a poli-sci major and it was all about communication. So when you started to bring stuff over here into this online world, more specifically the world of social media, and we know that the different platforms will use different verbiage.
Yes.
Like, often on LinkedIn, our posts aren't going to resemble the same posts that we would put on Instagram. But how smooth was that for you, if at all?
Yeah. Honestly, it wasn't smooth for me, because I think most of the social media channels out there aren't built for me. I'm very sorry for the COVID doorbell ringing. I'm pretty sure that's my son. My apologies. It will stop soon. Ultimately, like, Clubhouse came out recently. And Clubhouse, if that came out on day one, and I haven't really done much yet on Clubhouse, it really is, like, I've been observing a lot. I will. It's the thing that's seamless for me. But you know, it's come onto the landscape really late. And so I did a lot of watching others on social media and trying to figure out where's my place in all of this. And I tried doing a lot of things. I tried doing the great photography and the inspirational posts, and I can do those things. I've learned that I'm capable of doing those things, but I need to carve out a time in the day in order to do it. And I find that if you can do what feels most natural, and you're right, the thing that is most criticized, I talk a lot, okay? I can talk all day and not feel like I worked. You know, it's just, it feels so natural to me. But writing Instagram posts, LinkedIn posts, that didn't feel natural to me. That was work. So I think those have been more of a labor of curiosity and interest. LinkedIn I love because it allows me to connect with so many people. I spent about a year after I launched my Smart Self Solutions, my most recent business, I ended up being unwell and needed to pause all of my work, pause all contracts. And I spent about a year, well, less than a year, about 8 months, just in bed, and wasn't able to do much of anything. And I told myself, like, I hated it. I'm a workaholic, but I told myself I'm going to walk away from this time with something of value. And so I set a goal of achieving 10,000 connections on LinkedIn during that time. And I did. And it actually happened just like after that time. I got close. I got to, like, I don't know, almost 9,000, and then the rest kind of trickled. But ultimately, that network has done wonders for me. People actually will respond to a message from me and say, I saw that you have 10,000 connections, so I replied. So go figure. I was able to turn a time of very low value in my life into some value. And so I think it's about curiosity, exploring, and finding what's most natural and diving into that.
That's a really good point. I think, again, with that whole thing of finding what it feels natural to you is going to allow you to explore it to the extent that you might be becoming, innovative in maybe the way you're looking at your industry or your business or whatever. You might be able to innovate something that you're maybe not doing or already doing, but now I'm going to do it better. So I think it's so important for us to embrace sometimes even the down moments and making sure that we use it to the best of our ability.
And so I would just
demonstrate that very, very well.
I would just add to that, because I think there's a gem in there. We often think, how am I supposed to use this? What am I supposed to do on TikTok? What am I supposed to do? Do whatever you think, because if you get it wrong, that might be an innovation, right? Yeah. Like, you never know. There was that gentleman on the bike or on the scooter singing that song and drinking the I don't remember what drink it was.
The skateboarder.
Yeah, and it went. That's right, and just went viral. And why? Yeah. Well, because he did him, and nobody else was doing that.
Yeah.
So be you.
I think. Listen, I'm guilty of this myself. It's the overthinking. It's the taking a look at what everybody else has been putting out there, and then we think, well, I'm supposed to be like this. But I love the fact Rose has told me this, for a number of years since we've talked about my business and being online, and she's like, well, just master one. Master one platform. Get comfortable with one. So I wasn't comfortable anywhere I wasn't comfortable on LinkedIn. I wasn't comfortable on Facebook. Not comfortable here on Instagram. I've gotten more comfortable. Along came Clubhouse for me.
Yes.
And that's my area of, I feel like it's my playground.
Yes.
Right? Because I don't have to worry about anything other than what comes out of my mouth. Right? So, but I do think, like anybody watching this today, and anybody wanting to start something online, what Juliana said about you have to go where it feels natural. And it may feel not unnatural in all of those areas because we're stepping into something new.
Yes.
So you may not feel so comfortable and it may not be easy, but you were just saying for yourself, you're a communication specialist. And when you came online, it was not comfortable at the beginning for you. And I think that that's key for the women or men or anybody that's watching this to really hear those words. Because, again, I know that I felt guilty to this. I assumed, right? Like, I didn't, as street smart as I am and as book smart as I am, I was, like, not getting it that people show their highlight reels, right? They don't talk about what it took them to get to where they are now. And I'm so glad and so grateful that you answered that as honestly as you did, because we need to hear that. No, even for a communication specialist, transitioning to the online world was not easy. Thank you.
Yeah, yes. It's very true. And I don't know if this is something that you two can relate to, but So since we had our meet and greet, I have joined a new organization named One Local, and they do marketing for small businesses, and not just selling you the tech, and not just not charging you high prices for the agency model, but trying to combine them for something that's affordable and predictable. Like, you know what you're getting. You're buying like a package. You know what you're getting, right? And here I am starting in a senior role, and I'm sure that the people who are going to report into me think, oh, I hope she likes me. I hope I like her. Meanwhile, I'm walking into the playground like the new kid in school. And I'm thinking, I hope they like me, And I don't think we look at our leaders that way. And I don't think that we are honest about that discomfort. And I'm sure there are a lot of leaders out there who wouldn't even admit it, right? Like we often talk about imposter syndrome because we try so hard to posture, we try to be something that we are not because we think that's what we should be. And
right.
Yeah. And I feel very blessed that I can embrace this, but I own my insecurities. And if you don't like me, then my guess is I don't belong there. We're not each other's people. And so I just try and make peace with that. But, here I am. I've been working in communications for over 20 years. I've had multiple businesses, and I start a job, and I'm nervous too. We all are. We're all human beings.
Vulnerability.
No, I love that.
I always get from you. Like, you are so straightforward, and I don't want to put too much weight on the word honest, but just
real,
you're vulnerable in expressing your real humanity. Like, a lot of people in leadership roles feel like they need to be this superhuman who gets nothing wrong and doesn't have to, is not inflicted with all of the woes that we all have, right? Like, all the insecurities that come into play, and the second guessing of whether or not we're good enough.
Yes.
It doesn't stop just because you're at the top or just because you're in a leadership position. And I think everybody needs to understand that no matter where you're starting, it doesn't mean that you have to be perfect right out the gate. You can learn, people make fun of the learn on the job, and some, there's very much a lot of negativity towards that. But at the same time, you're also going to learn and grow on the job. Yes. Until you get in it, you don't really know it, the tangible stuff about it.
Totally.
Until you start actually doing it and executing it. So I think that's so important for people to understand it. Again, you just always bring the realness, and I love it. Love it.
Yeah, you bring the Canadianness, and I love it.
Yes, Canada.
So tell us a little bit about the Smart Self solutions. And you mentioned that you've had multiple initiatives and companies that you've run and currently still run. So you do a lot of juggling. You do a lot of multitasking in that sense. But tell us about that current endeavor with the Smart Self.
Sure. To be very honest, I'm not even marketing it right now. It's mostly referrals that come in. I'm a pretty busy girl, so I'm not really even doing much beyond the word of mouth and just servicing my clients as well as I can. Smart Self Solutions is all of my work has always been communications focused. And at this stage, Smart Self Solutions is really about it's about helping individuals, and people can have a variety of different needs, whether it's career, whether it's romance, whether it's conflict they're facing, an insurance claim they're fighting, who knows, just trying to communicate clearly. And so I coach individuals. The thing that I'm really, really excited about, and honest to God, I don't know when I'll have a chance to fully dive into this, but I am just fascinated. This is going to be a curveball. Okay. I am fascinated. This is something I discovered in that year that I was in bed and just not able to do very much. I was trying to find jobs, things that I could do unpredictably, like whenever I was able, and I didn't have to go anywhere. And I kept finding online, you're going to laugh, online psychic. Okay. And over and over again. And so I started doing a lot of research into this. The online psychic world is a multi-billion-dollar industry. And a lot of people, and I can attest to this myself, a lot of people who have trouble finding a mental health professional or a coach. Like you find the person that excites you, you submit a form and you wait 2 weeks, and they may or may not get back to you. And with the psychic line thing, again, I've done as much research as I can. I even got a reading, which was weird and useless, but it was like, she really tried, but she's a human being. I don't think she could actually predict my future. And ultimately, like, there are people paying $3 a minute, $25 a minute. And I think the difference is that you can talk to someone immediately. And if the person doesn't have credentials, at least they're compassionate. At least it's a listening ear. And so I really, really, really want to explore this concept of, how about coaching on demand? How about having, imagine a social network where experts could just be available online. And when you actually have a question in that moment, I have a job interview in 30 minutes. And yes, I didn't have the foresight to get a career coach. Yes, I didn't get the training. But right now I'm panicking and I want to know how to answer what's your greatest weakness question. And I can call somebody, and it's still cheaper, even if I pay $5 a minute, because I'm only talking to them for 10. I really love this model, and I've got the main page on the website right now is a trial version of this to see if people call in. So essentially, you can set up an account and you can request a callback. And so I'm really, really curious about that. If that's something people want, or maybe they really just want the supernatural element. I don't know, but I'd like to think that we can have a version of this where you're talking to real experts who are not anonymous and can give you real help in real time. It seems like something we should already have, given the tech world we live in.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But again, this is where I'm saying, like, the innovation that you allow yourself to manifest into something real, something tangible that people can actually use and is solution based.
It's brilliant.
It's incredible. Like, I want to be one of those people on the receiving end of the questions. So sign me up.
Yes. That's another thing.
Sign me up. I'm being so serious right now.
Yeah, that I think is brilliant. That is honestly a very important angle, because we, as coaches, as experts, we often think, oh, I want to help the people who don't get help, who really desperately need it. But often they would never ask. And as a coaching community, we can do a lot to support each other. And we are each other's clients, really. So, maybe that's how it begins. I have no idea. Maybe it'll never go anywhere. I don't know. But I definitely want to explore it. It's just a seed. And, you said that I let myself go down that path. And, when I mentioned psychic lines, both of you kept a straight face. But I'm sure both of you were like, oh, no, where is this going?
No, because me and Rose and I are both into psychic.
Okay, good.
We were like, oh yeah. We were like excited.
This is not weird talk for us, because even though, like, I'm not religiously about it, I definitely think, again, because, like, we need to allow ourselves to embrace whatever it is.
Yes.
That, like you said, brings us solutions, answers, empathy. Having somebody there, like you said, maybe a lot of people are willing to pay $25 a minute just to know that somebody else is on the other side listening to them. Period. Full stop. That's it. Like, that is worth the value for them. Totally. So,
and that's the key, right? It's in communication, it's all about listening. But most people listen to respond instead of listening to receive. And then, and then as a coach, I know when I was being trained in the program that I was taking, it was really about training your ear to hear what isn't being said, because you gotta see what's in between all the words.
Mm-hmm.
Because we come in these thought loops and we speak in thought loops. And for the majority of the population, I mean, even myself, and I've been coaching for 16 years, will sometimes not have the awareness that I'm in my own thought loop. And all I'm doing is, I'm like that hamster on the wheel, and I'm going round and round and round and round and round.
Yeah.
So listening is absolutely key to hear what the individual is saying. And it's funny because on Clubhouse, there's certain rooms where they will do like laser coaching, rapid, like rapid fire questions. And because there's no fluff over there, you don't have the pretty pictures and all of that. So the coach or whomever is being asked the question, I mean, there could be some rooms with lawyers where people are asking legal questions,
Sure.
but you're actually receiving the answers.
Yes.
To things. There's that level of truth. No, I think that, if I had to go with my resume somewhere and I didn't know, I would definitely want to know that there is an expert out there that truthfully is going to answer my questions. So
yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Oh, we're getting some love on screen. Thank you for the validation and love.
Don't you love the heart?
I do.
Bring them on.
Bring the hearts
Bring
on. Yeah.
So, could you talk to us a little bit about the psychology of communication? I mean, you've expressed it through some of your, visual storytelling right now,
Sure.
but are there some maybe foundational things or, essential things that maybe we should be looking for or aware of, or that could help impact how we go about communicating here online,
Yes.
Things like that?
Absolutely. I think a lot of people in this area of expertise, if asked that question, would probably answer with, make eye contact or smile even when you're on the phone. And I think those are all great practical pieces of advice. But the things that have completely rocked my world are more like the rules of engagement, the rules of the game. And so one of the things that I think we all need to, I think we're all richer if we know this and internalize this, is we have, as humans, we have a sophisticated brain, but we still have that limbic brain. We still have the lizard brain, the one that understands, I'm going to eat tonight or I'm going to starve. I'm going to live or I'm going to die. I'm safe or I'm unsafe. And we need to really understand that our brain is constantly trying to organize everything into a binary world. And so are the minds of the people we're talking to. And so anytime you are talking to someone and the message isn't landing, you feel like they're not listening to you, they're not hearing you, they're not respecting you, their limbic brain, they're not even aware of it, but their limbic brain is saying, this is unsafe. I feel vulnerable. I feel uncomfortable. So I'm just going to assume it's unsafe. This is different. So I'm going to assume it's unsafe. And so we behave in certain ways that we don't actually agree with if we had the wherewithal to notice. And when we're talking with someone else, we fault each other for those reactions. So if I say something to you, I come across and say something bold and it lands poorly with you and you treat me with a little bit of hostility or just maybe even all you do is withdraw, I could easily say, well, that person's a terrible person, mean, a bitch, whatever. And the truth is, I hit a nerve. And that person isn't most likely, most of us are not in our state of self-awareness very often. Most likely, it's this miscommunication thing, right? And one thing that I think is universal. I don't care how calm you are. I don't care how collected you are, sophisticated. We've all had moments of complete freak out where we get angry, right? We tell people off, right?
Slow it down. Slow it down.
And if we could see ourselves in the mirror, like, or see ourselves after, we would be humiliated. And we actually now live in a world where you get recorded in those moments and put online, and you get canceled and your life is over, you know? The truth is, it happens to all of us. It really does happen to all of us. All of us will lose it. And the things that we lose it about are usually not life and death. But the only thing that would justify... But the only thing that would justify our reaction in that moment is if it was life or death. And the reason we react the way we do is because our limbic brain is putting us on alert. It's life or death. And so we act this way, and then we hate each other for it. And I've always heard that compassion is key in order to understand somebody. And I believe that that is true. And so I do give that to people, but I honestly don't even think I'm giving most people compassion anymore. I'm waiting for it because I don't think I got all the information yet. You know, even if you're being a jerk to me, I will often, like, I had I hate to just talk, but I have a cool example. I had a call from a salesperson, random salesperson cold called me. He was trying to sell Google ads. And I'm like, I do Google ads. I know marketing. I can do that. But he was such a pleasant fellow that I talked to him, I think 4 or 5 times over the course of a few weeks. And I said, you know what? Let's do a trial. And the day he called me to sign the deal and take the payment, he was very rude to me. And I thought, okay, well, if this was my first conversation with him, I would not continue the conversation. And I could have said to him, you know, I'm not buying because, like, who is this person that showed up today? But I thought about it, and I thought to myself, okay, is this the person that I know? Is this the person that I've chose to bet on? And ultimately I purchased, and I said, okay, we can't hang up yet because I need to tell you, if this was our first call, we wouldn't be having a second. We wouldn't have had a 5-minute call. And I had to really think twice about whether or not I was going to follow through on a purchase today, because of the way you acted. And I pointed out specific moments and wording. And he said to me, I am so sorry. And I really thank you for not judging me on this moment. I had a child custody case this morning and it didn't go my way. And so, yeah, right? Like, what a moment in this guy's life. And I could have easily said, hell no. I'm not buying from you because you're being a jerk to me, and I won't let people treat me that way. The fact is, he wasn't treating me that way. He was on the defense, not the offense, you know? So yeah, I'm not even sure. And I probably go too far with this sometimes. I probably give compassion to people who don't deserve it sometimes. Some people are just jerks, but sometimes I don't think it even requires compassion. I think it just requires going back to your point earlier, Andrea, that we listen and listen with all our hearts and listen like we've never listened before, because there's a heck of a lot going on between the lines and under their own skin. They don't even necessarily know, and we're taking it personally. I don't know if that answers your question, but that clarified a lot of communication for me.
And that, I find, is one of the hugest problems today, is that everybody's making everything personal.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody says something, they take it personally, they make it personal. Fact is, it really has nothing to do with you.
Mm-hmm.
It's really about that other person and where they're at. And I'm sorry, my call came through and it messed up my headset. I had to go out and come back in, so I definitely missed a little bit of what the two of you were talking about. But that's the problem, and I think that's why, in terms of communication, the mediation industry, mediators are becoming so much more popular and so much more needed in things, because they play that role of, you get so much time because it's on the edge timer.
Yeah.
And you're going to talk. You know, it's like they're the referee of the game.
Yes.
Right? So that, you know, people have to sit there and they need to listen. And when it comes to, I have a question. So in terms of listening, and in terms of this online world, so I'm a life coach. and I need to create content for my community or for those, you know, those that I'm looking to attract. So how do I, as a coach and as an online entrepreneur, learn or train myself to listen to know what kind of content I need to create? Because then it kind of spills out, right? So when you're a business owner, you need to know and how to talk to your market.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
But how do we learn to listen?
Yeah. You know, sometimes a simple mantra can help, and I'm going to share this not because it is you know, it fixes everything, but that I've said it already in this call. Listen like you've never listened before. Every time I tell myself that, I really zone in, and I don't know that, like, I don't think I'm increasing my ability to listen every time, but it's hard work every time. So I often need that reminder. But that little mantra really works for me. The other thing that I would say is be part of the conversation. Don't necessarily always need to be the one with the answers. And if you are part of the conversation, then I think you actually stand a chance at hearing the real talk, right? There's a lot of things that you won't say in front of your doctor, even though that's a very serious belief you have about your health. But, you know, if you didn't think that your doctor was listening, you'd say, well, I don't know, I've been eating a grapefruit every day for my whole life because my grandmother told me, you know, and maybe that doctor would say, actually, there's some truth to that, but you also need this. Who knows, right? You need to be a part of that conversation. I love Quora for this, the online website, Quora.com, where people post questions. So it's Quora.com. Yeah. And people post questions, and experts and lay people from all over the world will answer. And I've answered a few questions, and some, you know, like, I don't know, a handful of people look at, and I did share one story that I think got quite a bit of, it got maybe like 2,000 likes or shares or whatever you get on Quora. And it was a story about a young man who took my anger management class, and I didn't share any identifying information, but I was just blown away at how many people that resonated with. I didn't know it was going to resonate with that many people, and so there's a mix of, you know, just do it, be in the moment, you know, be part of the conversation, and if you do it enough, there will be moments of perfection, you know, where you said exactly what someone needed to hear. And you didn't even know that was the time. Like, you could work so hard, you know, on some things that go nowhere. And then you're just being yourself one day, and it could touch somebody in a way that changes their lives, or it could go viral. Who knows? It's interesting. The Brene Brown, she did that very, very famous TED Talk on vulnerability. She says in one of her talks that she realized that she was engineering her career to stay small. She was keeping herself small, and by putting herself out there on that stage, like, she didn't know how viral that talk was going to go. And how desperately the whole world needed it, right? And I think that line resonates with me greatly. I'm sure this is true about most of us. I'm sure that I am not living up to my potential, right? Like, I think we can all say that. And so I need to ask myself sometimes, am I engineering myself to stay small? Am I actually the one standing in the way? Am I holding myself back? So yeah, like whatever objection you have about getting into the market and really understanding and hearing what your market wants from you, that's self-engineered. That's self-sabotage. Maybe you're afraid to hear that the thing you're offering isn't as popular as you thought, or maybe it's a smaller niche and that's scary, or maybe the very popular topic is not your niche and you haven't yet found your slice, you know?
I Love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, love that.
But in a global world, the slice is big enough to pay you. You can make a living.
But that's the thing. I think that brings up the conversation of, that whole competitiveness too within each respective industry. People are thinking that, well, why would I make another T-shirt? Like everybody has T-shirts. Everybody has a T-shirt company. But when you think globally, how many people are on this earth who don't have a T-shirt?
Yeah.
Your T-shirt might be that T-shirt that somebody ends up coming across.
Yeah.
And ends up being, the starting point of something bigger and greater for you, even though we're already saturated with so many T-shirts.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it, that you shouldn't venture it. You never know where it's going to take you. I think that's one of the biggest lessons I've been learning as time goes on. And you find that out even more so in business, that it's okay that you're doing the same thing that other people are doing. You're still bringing your uniqueness to the table, right? Juliana, somebody out there is waiting for you.
Absolutely. Juliana, you brought up something really important. I found myself asking myself this question, I don't know, 20 plus years ago. Or I heard it in my head, like I knew internally that I was not reaching my full potential of who I was and who God had created me. So I think that is an important thing for us to feel comfortable to ask ourselves, like, do I feel like I'm reaching my full potential? Is what I'm doing on a day-to-day basis leading me further and further to unleashing my full potential? And then the other point that I really get from you is, and I know that I felt like this many times, especially in the coaching industry, because since I've come into it, it has
exploded.
Yes. Everybody and anybody is a coach, right? And there's coaches for all these different things. So I found myself falling into a trap, and that was the comparationitis trap.
Yes.
That I would go in, and I would compare again, and then Rose would kind of reel me in a little bit about, well, you're really just seeing their highlight reel.
Yes.
So, and then we have to remember there's no such thing as a new thought.
Yes.
Period.
Yes.
Okay, and it's in our own delivery, just, expanding it from what Rose was saying about our own uniqueness. It's in our own delivery. Nobody can talk like Andrea.
Yes.
Except for
exactly.
Andrea. And Andrea shouldn't try to speak like Oprah. Even though, because we put those, I do, I don't want to speak for anybody else. I know that I have these, I don't want to call them idols or people that I really, have been a mentor to me from afar or whatever. And I'll tend to put them up on a pedestal.
Yes.
Which, not a good idea.
Yeah.
I know, Rose.
No,
I know.
I know. Yeah, I have to talk her down sometimes, but whatever.
Yeah.
Andrea, maybe try adjusting your volume a little bit. You're getting fainter and fainter. But yeah, if you could speak to a little bit of that, Juliana, that'd be great.
Yeah. Well, look, comparison is a nightmare, and also completely delusional, right? Like to assume that the one person you're looking at is the way it should be done. You just don't have enough information inputs to actually have assessed all of the options out there and be looking at the perfect one, and then look at yourself in the mirror and say, well, I must not be the perfect one. There is no such thing. And you mentioned, I like that thought about, like there is no new thought, right? Everything, we love this concept of innovation. Innovation is the number one hashtagged word on LinkedIn. And there are a lot of them, and it's by a lot. And we all want to stumble across this thing that is the next big thing. But innovation happens in tiny little steps, in increments. And I think that same concept carries forward to why any one of us should be doing something that someone else is already doing. And it's this intersection right? It's like my experience as an Italian woman in Canada. I'm going to be able to talk about something in a way that's going to resonate with a certain group that nobody else could possibly understand.
Right.
And the feeling is the same, right? It's not like I'm the first person saying these things, but I'm saying it in a way that resonates with a group or someone because of these intersections. Our lives, imagine a map of all of the roads in the world and think about all the intersections and think about fingerprints and how we travel those intersections. There is not any person on this planet. I don't care if you live in a tiny town your whole life with another 10 people. There's no one on this planet who crosses the same pattern of intersections at the same time and gets the same experience. And so we can add wealth of experience to each other's lives if we listen. If we're not trying to listen for the top 5 ways, we're just listening. So yeah,
you're bringing us a lot of truth today and a lot of hard truth. So
I love what you
feel
just
like
said.
you're going deep for me right now. I love it.
Aw.
Absolutely
I
love it.
No, Juliana, the way you just, oh my God, that was just so beautiful. The way
Thank
you
you.
put that and so simplistic. And that's another thing I think that happens for us as small business owners, and it's that constant overthinking, just like we talked about earlier in terms of showing up on social media. It is the overthinking, which is the biggest killer.
Yes.
It kills our dreams. It kills our imagination, and it can take you out. And I know that in these years of business, branding under this or rebranding under that, it has really taken me out. Really taken me out. So, God, thank you, Juliana.
So Juliana, could you maybe speak to, this whole thing of how technology and innovation has actually influenced your business, branding and growth, and all the things that you do as an intersection in your own business life, career life? Like, how has technology influenced or impacted a lot of what you do?
Yeah. I think
because you didn't start in tech.
I didn't. And I would never have considered myself like in high school, people who become the computer engineers, they were like, oh, I was building computers when I was 12, that wasn't me. I really just want tools to do what I need at that moment. And so I never explored tech as its own fishbowl of like, oh, I want to go in and see what's in there. That was never a thing of interest for me. But what I've found is, there's no new thought. Every time I have a wish, it is going to stick with me. Every time I have a new wish, oh, I wish I could do this. If I research enough, I can find somebody who's already had this problem and solved it. And often it's with tech. And so what I've found over the years is that I've ended up learning tech in very deep ways out of necessity, out of need, because I want that solution. So I'm not interested in the tech necessarily. Like, I've grown quite interested, frankly, in process and what kinds of things are possible. So I am very interested in tech, and I would call myself a technophile. What do people, I don't know if you're into tech, I don't know what you call yourself, but anyway, I would call myself that now, but that didn't happen because I was just always drawn to tech. And what it's done for me, I think, is it's upped my level of sophistication. So today I was invited by you to come and do this interview. And I always have this issue of, I need to create more content. I need to be out there. There are people who need to hear what I have to say. I need to do this. And there's a tech tool, StreamYard, that is allowing me to broadcast this. And it's taking me not much more effort. I took 3 minutes to set it up. And so tech is helping me up my game and give me a level of sophistication I could never have had on my own. I don't think the substance of what I have to say has changed. Like I have tech examples and that kind of thing, but tech makes it possible. Like I've built websites, and I'm not a developer, and I've done graphic design. Man, Canva has rocked my world. You know, like it makes me look like your graphic designer.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And this is the thing. So this is a perfect example. When you're thinking to yourself, I wish I could do that, but I can't. See how literally Google how to graphic design something when you know nothing about it. You know, you're going to find Canva if you don't already know about it. Or, you know, copy some other template. Like you'll find a bunch of templates. I hate shopping. I hate shopping for anything, clothes. I don't care what it is. And I, and I'm not good at interior design or anything like that. But I don't want my house to look like some kind of bad collage. And I have no interest. I have zero interest in Pinterest, but Pinterest has been an amazing resource for me to see other interior design. And I just add, bathroom. Okay. I'm just adding these all to bathroom. And then when I need to buy something for my bathroom, I go into that and I'm like, oh, I'm going to buy this one or something that looks like that. And I'm almost outsourcing my decision making. So tech has given me the ability to get, again, the sophistication, advice from experts in real time. I'm not going to go and research towel holders. I don't care that much, but I do like to see some interesting designs I haven't seen before, and it's easy to add. And so, yeah, like from personal life to professional life, technology has enabled me to do things that I could never have done. And
absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely,
and have a bigger reach.
I have a comment here.
Yes.
An interesting comment from Soldier935.
It's a funny one.
Says, "You're the first girl that I've ever heard that says she doesn't like shopping, LOL."
Well, I know a couple other ones.
I hate it.
It is quite a funny comment.
Can I tell you, I have a little bit of a hack. Whenever I absolutely have to shop for clothing, I go into the store and I find the most approachable person in the store. And well, what I do is, this is a lie that I tell. I go up and because it worked for me. The first time it wasn't a lie, and it worked so well for me. So now I just always go in and say, I had a baby. I'm going back to work after a year. My body's completely changed. I know nothing about anything but diapers. Can you please dress me? And they're like, absolutely, I'll help. That has worked so well for me. You got to outsource. I did once have a woman in the store say to me, I think we have a classics section here somewhere. So I think she thought I was too old for that store. So what are you going to do?
That's funny. No
way.
Whatever, makes for a good adage when you're telling a story.
Oh my gosh. Andrew, you were about to say something.
I just want to, so for myself, and I know I'm not the only one out there, that's why I feel it's important for me to just share this. Yes, technology has changed the playing field, and it's really upped the game for all of us. And it kind of touches a little bit about, at the beginning of our conversation today, about what feels natural, go where it feels most natural. I have, and Rose knows, I have attempted things, technology. You girls love Canva. I love what Canva can do. Canva's a very frustrating, and I went to art school, but I left just as the whole digital age was coming into graphics. So, like you, Juliana, go into a store and you get the most approachable woman there to help you. I look online for VAs. I've used Fiverr. I've outsourced because I realized something that could take them a half an hour to do literally could take me a day day or longer, and all I'm going to do is want to take my computer and throw it at the wall.
Yes.
So in order to not do that, I outsource. And that is what has helped me to be able to bring myself and move myself forward instead of staying in a phase of I can't do this and then be upset with myself that I can't do this and then look at what everybody else is doing. I just have to cut it right there and outsource. Ask a friend. I mean, we have people in our circle, and if you don't, then that means you need to start to build a circle of support for yourself. Totally.
There's a question on screen. What is the classic section? I don't know, but I assume it meant like traditional wear for older women. That's what I assumed. I don't know if that's what it was, but
I'm curious. What store was it?
It was Forever 21. I probably didn't belong in there. I don't know. It was a new store. I walked in. You know, I'm not following these trends. I have no idea.
So. That is hilarious, honestly. Oh my God.
See, and that's the thing. That's a perfect example of, I could easily have been offended by that, but I don't think she was trying to offend me. I think she was like, I don't know how to help this lady, Yeah. So we all do our best. I think when we talked originally, I don't know why this is coming to my mind right now, but I remember talking about these pressures that we put on ourselves. And there's a quote that I often bring up, and I think I brought up before. And it's from, if I remember correctly, I have the worst memory. I believe it's from Sex and the City. And it's this monologue where Carrie Bradshaw is talking about, all of this pressure that she puts on herself. And she says, when are we going to stop shoulding all over ourselves? And I love that line. Yeah.
Hallelujah.
That is fantastic.
I have to. Should have.
Yeah. Yes.
It's like they're married. It's like salt and pepper.
Yes.
They're married.
But it's an angry marriage, right?
Bad marriage. Very much. A lot of domestic violence going on there. A lot of domestic violence.
So we're putting it out there. Stop with the shoulding on yourself. How do you say shitting
on
yourself?
Yeah, we're shoulding all over ourselves. We got to stop shitting all over ourselves.
We're so covered in it. Stop doing that.
Yes, we're covered in shoulds. Yes. It's enough.
So my dear Juliana.
Oh yes, they're going to.
I want to say thank you for joining us today, because we're going to end on that note because we're coming to the hour, and we don't want to get kicked off. But
no problem.
We will be posting your links and etc. in our link tree, in our link in bio on Moms Embracing Tech for people to connect with you. But is there anything else that you would like to add in terms of any programs or anything that you'd like people to know to, hey, look out for, connect with me on? And
sure. Yeah. Anyone who's interested, please go check out smartself.com. I would really love to hear what you think about this idea I'm calling the Instant Advisor. This essentially real-time coaching in the minute when you need it. It's the minimum viable product, completely in its infancy. It is mostly just an idea. But if you like the idea, then I want to know, because I think there are a lot of great people out there that can help build it. So please, do that. And don't be shy. Connect with me on LinkedIn, anywhere.
Excellent. And you're
Juliana, this is a
Clubhouse, right? So
yes, I'm on Clubhouse.
Over on Clubhouse.
Yes,
under the
for
same
sure.
handle, or are you under the same handle?
It's either, I believe it is JTCINA, JT China. That's right. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to follow you today. I'm going on there.
Yes, and we have to have another conversation because we've got to do more together.
Well, I think I'm going to do something like this over because Moms Embracing Tech has a club now on Clubhouse.
Oh, awesome.
So we're going to start to do some stuff like this over there and record it.
Yes.
But we will always have that.
So yes, another conversation is absolutely in store.
Oh, we love you,
Laura.
Love you guys too.
Very inspirational talk. Thank you so much. Hearts.
Yeah, Laura's been present this whole
for joining
time.
us today.
Yeah, thank you, Laura. I've noticed your comments throughout. Thank you for being here.
Yeah,
Laura's in Venice.
So
Oh, wow.
right, Laura's in Italy. Yeah, she's out in Italy.
Paisan.
We're broadcasting internationally, people.
I love it. I love it. Who would have thought?
Juliana, have a fantastic Thursday afternoon.
You
And
too.
the rest of the week, may it be blessed and fruitful and bountiful and we really do appreciate you taking this hour out of your busy time to spend with us here on Moms Embracing Tech. I'm Rose N. She is Andrea B.
Andrea B.
Juliana C. And we are out.
Love you,
Later. Bye, ladies.
Have a great day, everyone.
Bye, ladies.
Ciao.
Bye. We are going to go right into it and
Okay. So everybody online, I don't know how well that worked out because you could only hear their audio and only see my face. It was a really, really great talk. I'm going to see if I can download the video. I don't know if you can do that on Instagram. Here I am talking about tech, embracing tech, and I don't know all the tech things. Anyway, anyone who tuned in, thank you for giving me your time. I know time is extremely precious and it means a lot to me, so thank you. And I hope that this format was still interesting and helpful. This fall, we are kicking off another season of Smart Self Livestream, and I am very excited to bring you guys some awesome people. I've got to go back to my awesome people and just kind of keep the day going. So blessings to you all, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye, everyone.